Good evening, good evening, good evening. Today is still Monday, September 9th, 2024. I am back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I am on my way to the gym. Just waking up from a nap. I got out early, came home, took a nap. I was supposed to be to the gym, but took the nap, and the nap said no, not right now. So here I am, running late to the gym, but I'm going anyway. And on this episode, I want to talk to people who, like myself. Well, let me speak about me first. There was a time in my life when I look back over my life, my own particular life, I didn't like it. I hated my life, the way things was going. I thought something was wrong with me, right? Which it is. Everybody got issues, right? That's the title of this video. But there was a time when I thought it was just me, right? And for some reason, I don't know if it's because they say misery loves company or what have you. I don't know what the reason is. But I don't think nobody, even if you got problems, it seems like the problems are worse when you think you're the only one with problems. That everybody else is doing well but you. It compounds your problems. It makes your problem seem worse because now you think something is really wrong with you because you doing bad, you having issues, you having problems, you got things going on in your life that ain't the way you want them to be, and you, if you're not careful, your biggest enemy will have you thinking you're the only one with problems. Your biggest enemy will have you thinking everybody else doing fine but you. Well, we're going to dispel that false belief. Hold on. There were times in my life, now I'm not going to say no specific time, we just reflecting back over life in general that I can remember. There were times in my life, let's just say when I was a child, I was adopted, right? And I didn't have my biological father and mother dipped. But they're right here within the vicinity where I can see them. Like, my mom lived up the street, my father passed by. Neither one of them took the time to see me, right? So I thought my childhood was the worst. I thought, damn. My first experience with thinking I was the only one who had problems. Or that my problems was worse than everybody else. Something wrong with me because, hey, my mom and dad don't want me. Something wrong with me. My life effed up. Now, I had to overlook, not now, as in then, which I didn't understand at the time. Now that I look back at it, now I know. All right, my biological mother and father dipped, but I had two great, wonderful, loving parents that adopted me. That I don't think a biological parent can love you any harder than these two people love me, right? So, even though I didn't have my biological parents, and I thought that was so messed up, I thought I was doing so bad, I thought all the other kids, because the other kids in my neighborhood had their mothers and fathers, right? I grew up during a time when people had, in the black community, there were mothers and fathers in the same home. I grew up during that time. Probably that time was dying out, but it was still going on when I was a child. So I'm thinking my situation was so bad because I didn't have my biological mother and father, but the two parents I had was the most loving, caring, kind people. But I had a father who didn't play, but he was a man. Like I told y'all, but they was older folks. So I got that old folks wisdom, but I was raised by a real master how men operate. So, and here I am thinking, right, I got it worse than the other kids because they got their biological parents. I don't have mine. I'm in a worse situation. Come to find out, even though I didn't have my biological parents, I was in a better situation than a lot of the kids that had their own parents in the house. To the point to where a lot of them were jealous of me and my situation. And I couldn't understand it because y'all got y'all mom and dad. I don't. But the people that I had were better parents to me than a lot of their biological parents was to them. As a matter of fact, when I grew up, one of my friends' father killed his mother. Then I had another friend whose mother was cheating all the time on his father. I had another friend, because this just stuff that was known in the neighborhood. I had another friend whose father was a drunk. He used to walk down the street peeing on himself. I ain't have to experience none of that, even though I thought my problem was worse than theirs because I didn't have a biological mother and father. They did, but my situation was better. I didn't even know it. Now, hold on, I'm going for it with this. Things are not always as they seem. You're not always doing as bad as you think you're doing. And you're not the only one with problems. Everybody got them. Sometimes you may look at other people's situation and think their situation is better than yours, not knowing yours is better than theirs. Despite of your problems, some people got it worse. And it's usually the people you think are doing better than you. You looking down on your life, looking down on your situation, feeling bad about your position in life, that you somehow doing worse than other people. There's been many times I looked at starting from childhood. I'm going all the way back to childhood. There's been times where I would look at other people's lives, wishing their life was mine because I thought their life was better than mine. There have been times I wanted to be other people. I wanted to be like other people because I thought they were better than me. Because I was having problems. Didn't understand as a child that everybody got problems. I used to watch my friend, we used to laugh at my friend dad walking down the street. We used to see him coming staggering. We already knew why. He finna pee on this here. Why? He's not a little kid, dude. Crew. Your daddy finna pee on this here. And he just lo and behold, all the little kids and the little boy who daddy was sitting there watching as we laugh at his daddy while his daddy standing there in the street and pee on himself because he's sloppy drunk. But he had his biological mom and dad, and I thought that I had the worst situation possible because I didn't have my biological mom and dad. They gave me away. I used to get teased about it. I used to get janked about it. I used to get janked by the same little kids whose parents were horrible, who had their parents. They had to tease me, how you adopted. Your real mom and dad didn't want you. Did that and other, right? And I felt so low and so bad about that. But at the same time, they're at home getting abused, neglected, watching their parents in domestic abuse. I ain't know none of that, see. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm comparing myself to them. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm comparing myself to their situation, but not knowing all the ins and outs. Do that sound familiar? Comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. You going about on the outside, the surface stuff that you may see, but you don't know what's lying behind the scenes, behind the curtain. Slide that curtain back, and you ain't gonna want their life. Once you see the real life, the people that you thought were doing better than you, which they might be doing better than you in some areas, like they did have their biological parents. So that was a plus. But their biological parents, a lot of them, was worse than my adopted parents. See, my adopted parents loved me. I didn't see none of that growing up. Great parents. but I was adopted. So I thought I had problems. As I grew, got older, in school, didn't have any money, had girls asking me to the prom. I didn't have no money to get a tux, didn't have money to pay for the prom, didn't have money to do none of that. I thought I had problems. Till I found out there was some little guys at the school, no girls wanted them at all. There were guys that was asking girls to the prom, had money to go to the prom, had their own car in high school, had their own car in high school, had money. Asked girls to the prom, the girl said no. I had girls asking me to the prom. I thought I had a problem because I didn't have no money to go. Couldn't afford to go to the prom. But I had girls that wanted me, that liked me. While he and him got car, money, all that, still couldn't go to the prom because nobody liked him. Girl. So I thought I had a problem. Here he is, can go to the prom and still can't go. At least I had an explanation of why I couldn't go. I didn't have no money, but I had many opportunities. He had money and couldn't go. Had a car, still couldn't go. Wanted to go, still couldn't go. Because he didn't have the most important thing that it take to go to the prom with, a date. You think you got problems. Everybody got problems, not just you. I got grown in a relationship, at work, in life, my car, my house, which I'm, at the time, didn't have a house, living with a woman. I thought I was, you be thinking I'm going home, I'm gonna go to the crib, y'all, but you live with a woman not knowing you homeless. As a man, you living with a woman, your ass homeless, but that's not the topic of this video. But being in a relationship, right? And just go for the woman that was with me as well, or the women that were with me as well, but also me. But sometimes women fall into the same category, same problem. Looking at other folks' relationship, other folks' marriage, or what have you, and thinking yours is horrible. Because y'all might not have money, it look like they living it up, they going on cruises. They on Facebook, which they have Facebook back then, but you just the example of Facebook. They on Facebook, all lovey-dovey, this, that, and the other. And your relationship, y'all ain't got all that. Y'all ain't got no money like that for real. Y'all just trying to make it, but y'all really do care for each other. You with a woman, I was with a woman, she was with a man, and we actually vibed together. We didn't have a lot of money, but how relationships do that, it eventually fall apart. But this during times where everything was going good, if you consider how good a relationship could be, we liked each other, we enjoyed each other's company, we could sit out on the porch, talk all night long, a good relationship. But looking at other folk relationship, they doing stuff. They got money, they get new cars, they going out of town, they traveling, going on vacation, this, that, and the other. And we all lasted, all of them. But it looked like they were doing so much better than us. Relationship that I was in. I'm talking about the relationship I was in. Looking like we were having problems, right? And looking at everybody else's relationship, like their relationship was so much better than ours. Look how happy they look together. They going here, they going there, they doing this, they doing that. Next thing you know, you find out He got a baby on the side. She's sleeping with the mailman. So forth and so on. Come to find out, they don't even sleep in the same bed. Everybody got a problem, not just you. Fast forward to the day. We know the struggle that everybody going through nowadays, but if you ain't careful, your mind, even nowadays, hearing channels like mine and other channels, watching TV, the news, what have you, even with all that going on, if you ain't careful, your mind will have you thinking you doing worse than everybody else. Your mind will have you thinking everybody doing good but you. Watching social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TV, what have you, it would have you believing you the biggest failure in the world. Even though you have a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your stomach, what have you. You may be one of them people that don't have $1,000 in the bank that we talk about. You may be one of them people that don't have $400 in the bank. And you looking around thinking how bad your life is. I ain't got $400 in the bank, but you get paid Friday. Not knowing there's somebody you looking at envy. You may not be envious, but you like, damn, they doing all right and I'm not. I ain't got $400 in the bank, but you get paid Friday. They ain't got $400 in the bank, and they ain't got no job, no food in the refrigerator, no help, no nothing. You thought they was doing better than you. Because you look on Facebook, and you say, damn, man, I wish I can get on Facebook and laugh. My life, I'm having problems. Everybody having problems right now. Don't let this thing up here fool you into thinking something wrong with you. Which it is. Something wrong with everybody, though, is my point. Don't have this thing have you thinking everybody got it together but you. If you ain't careful. There's been times where I'm talking about people that were straight losers. Now that I look back on it. Come to find out there was if you look up loser in the dictionary, these people that I thought was doing better than me, their picture would be in there. Some of the people throughout my life that I thought was doing better than me, that I thought were better than me, if you look in the dictionary under loser, their pictures show up. But somehow this right here had me thinking those people were doing better than me. Because you are your worst critic most of the time. Some people, until you get to a point like I am now, where you can turn that shit off, and now I'm my biggest cheerleader. Go Big Ward. That's right. Go Big Ward. You got the best channel on YouTube, Big Ward. Your subscribers, you ain't got 1 million subscribers, but you got almost 63,000 loyal ones. Now I'm my biggest cheerleader. I went from my worst critic to my biggest cheerleader. Don't expect other people to be your cheerleader. Cheer for your goddamn self. Everybody got a problem. So what? Cheer for yourself. Motivate yourself. Encourage yourself. Clap for yourself. Get in there, you. You got this. You got this, Big Ward. Ain't nobody on this planet better than you, Big Ward. Insert your name into this sentence. Ain't nobody on this planet better than you. You're not the only one having problems. Everybody got problems. But you're going to make it. You're going to solve these problems. You're no worse, no less than nobody else. You're not the only one having problems. You're not the only one going through some trials and tribulations. And a lot of times the people you looking at thinking, man, I wish my life was like that. A lot of y'all ain't gonna admit it. I'll admit it, that I done looked at people and thought that. Man, I wish I had it going on like that. Man, I wish I had that situation. Not knowing their situation be effed up. You looking at a highlight reel. You ain't looking at the whole game. A lot of time when you see people and it look like everything is smooth sailing for them, that they've arrived, oh, they got great credit, everything look around, they get a new car, all the new clothes and name brand, this, that, and the other, and here you are, you ain't got $400 in the bank. You just looking at them like, man, I wish I had it like that. Then later on down the road, that person spares out, have a massive stroke, aneurysm or some shit, where they stressed out, worried about paying for all this shit. Or they worried about losing it. Worried about what folk gonna think, because they don't know I'm 3 months behind on the S550 Mercedes that I'm riding around in. Not knowing I'm trading them in because I'm about to lose it. I'm downgrading. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to others, because everybody got problems, not just you. And a lot of times, them people you looking at that look like they doing better than you don't know, because they're doing a good job of disguising it, because it's their business, it ain't your business, first of all. But that's why you don't judge people by outside appearances. Don't compare yourself to others, because people ain't gonna let you see everything they got going on. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't think you the only one around here going through hell. Especially nowadays, everybody got a problem, baby. What you gonna do about yours? How you gonna handle yours? Focus on yours and how you gonna fix yours. But just know you're not the only one. There's nothing wrong with you. No, you ain't no worse than nobody else. You're not some type of loser, some type of, well, some of y'all losers, you haters that be emailing me, y'all losers. But everybody else, you're not losers. You're not failures. You're not rare. You didn't do nothing no worse than nobody else. Yes, you made mistakes. You made bad decisions, bad choices. That's called life. It's called learning. But you can make all the right decisions and you still gonna have problems. Because life is a problem. And that you solve it. You gotta find an answer to the problem. Same way you did in school, when you have when you got math, what they call it, a problem. A math problem. And what do you do with that math problem? You figure it out, come up with the answer. That's the same thing in life. You have a problem, solve the problem. There's an answer to every problem. The problem is 2 plus 2. The answer is 4. Even though 2 plus 2 is the problem, there's an answer for 2 plus 2. 4. 3 times 2 is the problem. The math problem. It translation to life too. 3 times 2 is the problem. But 6 is the answer. So the problems you're going through in life, you're not the only one going through problems. They're here for a reason, for you to solve. Solve your problems. Don't run from them. They're there for a reason. 3 times 2 is 6. Your problems are meant for you to learn from. They don't determine and tell you who you are, that you're a failure. You ain't no good, something wrong with you. Your problems are there to teach you. Just like the math problem, 3 times 2 is there to teach you. Your problems in life are something for you to learn from. That's life teaching you. Life is just one big learning experience. I heard somebody say that's all life is. Come here and learn as much as you can, so when you leave here, you can go back and tell God what you learned. That's what I heard. I don't know. Go back and tell God what you learned from being here. How many problems did you solve on your test? Life is just one big math problem. Solve it. So therefore, you know, whatever problems you're going through, You're supposed to. You're supposed to be going through some problems. Life is not smooth sailing for nobody. Life wouldn't be life if it was all smooth sailing. It's not smooth sailing for nobody. Everybody got problems to solve. So instead of sitting around whining, bitching, complaining about you got problems, thinking that nobody else got problems but you, it wouldn't be life if them people didn't have problems too. Life is about problems, but it's about solving them, not complaining about them. Solve your problems. Don't worry about your problems. Solve them. You're supposed to have problems. You're supposed to learn from them, move on to the next problem. Problem number 1, 3 times 2 is 6. Problem number 2, 4 times 2 is 8. Problem number 3, so forth. So you know the test you have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Same thing in life. You're going to go through number 1, number 2 problem, number 3 problem, number 4 problem. Whatever the problem may be, your marriage, your relationship, your finances, your job, your education, your kids, whatever problem you're having, solve the problem. It's a learning experience. You ain't the only one with problems, baby. Everybody got problems. Solve them. You'll be all right. Get it, got it, good. Bye.